Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Today we are going to continue with the next topic, meter bridge. Now, yesterday we were discussing about Wheatstone's network and we arrived at the equation of the bridge balance condition, which is P by Q is equal to R by S. Okay, and we got this equation by applying Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law. Now, today the topic meter bridge, what we are going to learn is another form of Wheatstone's network, like how we were having 4 resistors. Similarly, here also we are going to have 4 resistors, and it is just the application of Wheatstone's network. Okay, in fact, this meter bridge is also a practical experiment for you. We are going to have this experiment for your practical. So, listen to the concept very clearly and try to understand, children. Okay, so let us move on to the concept meter bridge. So this is the current electricity topic 11. We are going to have meter bridge and we are going to continue potentiometer if possible. Okay, so let us move on to the circuit diagram of a meter bridge. Okay, so what does the meter bridge consist of? The main important part in a meter bridge is this wire. Okay, now this AB is a wire which is made up of manganese or constantan. So it is made up of manganese or constantan. Okay, so this is a uniform manganese wire, and you should remember when you take this wire should have a low temperature coefficient. Okay, low temperature coefficient, which means alpha. Hope you remember. Okay, so low temperature coefficient, and also it should have resistivity. Now resistivity of the wire should be high. Okay, so these are the two conditions for the wire to be used here, manganese or constant. Now we will not use copper here. Okay, copper has very high temperature coefficient and also the resistivity is low for a copper, so that is not used. We'll go for manganese or constant wire. There may be a 2 mark for you, children. Why we will not prefer copper, instead we prefer manganese or constant? So this should be the answer. This should be points that has to be discussed. It has got a low temperature of coefficient and the resistivity of the manganese wire or constant wire is very high. So this is a uniform manganese wire. Now the length of the wire is 1 meter. Okay, 1 meter or 100 centimeter. You have a meter scale here which measures the length, okay, which is 100 centimeter or 1 meter. Okay, ma? Now this wire is stretched. So where this wire is stretched? Now this is stretched between two copper strips C and D. So where is C and D, children? Now this is C and this is D. So this wire is stretched between two copper strips. Now between these two copper strips you have one more strip called E. Okay, and there is a gap G1 between this C and E, and there is also a gap G2 between E and D. Now in these gaps you connect the resistors. Okay, now one resistor is connected across G1, the other is connected across G2. Okay, so there are two resistors that are connected in the gap G1 and G2. Now in this, one resistance will be of an unknown value, which is P. Okay, so an unknown resistance whose resistance value we are going to determine is connected along the gap G1. Okay, and along this gap G2 you have a known resistance. In the lab we have what is called as a resistance box, so that can be connected in this gap G2 and we can fix the value of the resistance. So that is connected across this gap G2. Is it clear, children? So then the next is you connect a galvanometer. Okay, now you connect a galvanometer from the center point of this copper strip. At this from this point you connect a galvanometer, and the galvanometer is connected to a high resistance, and that is connected to what is called as metal jockey. Okay, metal jockey, it is a pen like thing. Actually it is a metal rod, and one end of it will be knife edge, that is a knife edge. Now that will slide along this wire AB, so it will make connections. Now there is all these resistors, and we are going to have a cell, you are going to have a Q. Now all these are external external devices. Now the connection from this to the meter bridge is given by this jockey. Okay, so when you slide over the jockey along the length of the wire, you will have deflection in the galvanometer. So it connects the components with the meter bridge. So that is the work of a jockey. Okay, so and we have a high resistance here. Why this high resistance is given is, now this galvanometer has got some coil inside it which is considered to be very sensitive. Okay, there is a very sensitive coil inside the galvanometer. Suppose you connect it to a Leclanché cell also. Look at the connection. There is a Leclanché cell of a particular EMF is connected. So if the current is going to be very high flowing in the circuit, then it may damage the sensitive coil in the galvanometer. So to avoid that, you have a high resistance. Okay, so this high resistance will allow only the required current to the galvanometer, so that the coil is prevented from burning. So otherwise, because the coil is very sensitive, if heavy current flows, the coil is burnt out. So that to avoid that, we connect a high resistance. Okay, and from A you connect the end A to the positive. Now here the cell that is used is a Leclanché cell, which is considered to be a primary cell, children. So that is connected from A. So from A it is connected to the positive terminal of the Leclanché cell. The negative terminal of the Leclanché cell is connected to key, and from key it is taken to the other end B. So this is how connections are made in a meter bridge. Hope you are very clear now. Right, now what are you going to do is, you are going to move the jockey on the wire. So start from A. Okay, when you keep your jockey at A, now as far as this point is concerned, because you are giving a battery which is connected, so as soon as you start your jockey here, immediately the value of current will be low, and as you keep on sliding the jockey along the wire, there will be a flow of current in the circuit. Now suppose initially the galvanometer, the needle is here. Now when you keep on moving the jockey along the wire AB, the current keeps on increasing, and at a particular point the galvanometer shows zero deflection. Okay, now as we did in Wheatstone network, now when all the resistors are the same and the potential between the junction B and D is going to be same, then I said the galvanometer will show zero deflection. Zero deflection in the sense at that particular point there is no current. So here also it is the same. Now when you start moving the jockey from here, now as it is sliding over the wire, there will be a current, there will be a deflection in the galvanometer which will show the presence of current, but at a particular point, say for example, if the jockey is at this point, the galvanometer will show zero deflection. Zero deflection in the sense the needle of the galvanometer will point towards zero, which means zero deflection means what, children? There is no current at that particular point. Is it clear, children? So let that point be J here. Okay, are you able to understand? Let us imagine that at this point the galvanometer show zero deflection. Now you measure the length, okay, from A to J, which is taken as L1. Okay, so what is this L1, children? The length from A to J, that is jockey. At this point, you measure this length as L1. Naturally, L2 will be 100 minus L1. Yes or no? As I told you, the length of the wire is 100 centimeter. Now, to get the value of L2, if I measure this value of L1, 100 minus L1 will give the value of this L2. Okay, so this length, that is AJ and JB. Okay, so these two length replace the resistance R and S of the Wheatstone's network. Now in Wheatstone's network we connected 4 resistors. You remember P, Q, R, S. You refer the Wheatstone's network. It is there in the same page only to your left side in the textbook. Okay, so instead of that R and S, so the resistors R, N, I, S are replaced by AJ and JB. So I can write now, let me go to the next page. P by Q. P by Q is equal to R by S. Now what is this R? R is R dash into AJ and S is R dash into JB. Now what is this R dash? R dash is resistance per unit length of the wire. Now look at the diagram once again. Now L1 is the balancing length, right? Now when you look at this length L1, I said if this is going to be 100 centimeter, and as I said this wire is made up of manganese or tungsten which has a resistance in it, yes or no? Now with respect to, let us consider the resistance of the wire be R, capital R. Okay, in that case, suppose if I am taking the balancing length to be AJ, I need to multiply the value of L1 into the resistance across this wire, yes or no? So which is taken as R dash here. So R dash is resistance per unit length of the wire. Are you able to understand now? Similarly, for the other length also, for the other length L2 also, I will write the value of JB to be R dash into L2, okay, which is again where R dash is resistance per unit length of the wire. So now what is AJ? Now look at the value of AJ. AJ is L1 and JB is L2. So substitute. So P by Q is equal to, here R dash gets cancelled. So AJ is L1 and JB is L2. Okay. Now I know the value of, I know the value of Q. I know the value of L1 and L2. From this I can find out the value of the unknown resistance by rearranging the formula. P is equal to Q into L1 by L2. So this is how I determine the value of unknown resistance. Okay. Now once again let us go back to the diagram. Now, as I said you here, there are copper strips. Now, these are all copper strips. Now, the C, E, D, you will be able to understand better when you see this apparatus in the lab. Now, this is a bent shape, it is bent, it's bent shaped copper strip, L-shaped copper strip, or you can also say it as it is in the shape of L. So, it is an L-shaped copper strip here, and here also it is an L-shaped copper strip. It is made up of copper strips. So, what happens? Now all these are in contact, right? So in that case, because copper is considered to be a conductor, you may have what is called as an end resistance, which may disturb the value reading which we are taking. So to avoid this end resistances, okay, so some resistance may be included in the circuit because all these are conductors which are nothing but copper strips. So to avoid those end resistance, what do we do is, now let us fix some value of known resistance and take the balancing length for some value of known resistance. Then what do you do is, you interchange these known resistance and unknown resistance to the left. And now initially the unknown resistance was in the left gap. Now this gap is left gap, this gap is right gap. So initially the unknown resistance was in the left gap and the known resistance was in the right gap, and you took a set of readings. Now after that, what do you do is, you interchange this, that is, you keep the known resistance to the left gap and unknown resistance to the right gap and repeat the experiment, so that, and when you take the average of it, you can avoid the value of this errors due to end resistance. Okay, so this is what we do in the lab. Now you fix some known value of resistance, take the balancing length, then interchange the known and the unknown resistance. Again, for the same value of resistance, we take the balancing length and average it out, so that these end resistance, error due to end resistance, can be avoided. Okay ma, so this is how you, this is the formula to find out the unknown resistance. And also this meter bridge can be also used to find the specific resistance of the material. In fact, our aim of the experiment is to determine the specific resistance of the material of the wire. This is your experiment, specific resistance of the material of the wire. So how it is represented as specific resistance or electrical resistivity? It is represented as rho. Okay ma? And we know the formula for resistance, R is equal to rho into L by A. Okay ma? And if I wanted to find out the value of specific resistance, I can rearrange this formula. Rho is equal to R into A by L. Okay, now what is R here now? As far as R is concerned here, now this R is the resistance of the material, yes or no? As per this formula, this R is the resistance of the material. Now as far as this equation is concerned, this R is equal to what? This is what we have found out now, which is equal to P. Yes, so R is equal to P. So instead I can substitute rho is equal to P into, what is area? Area is pi R square by L. This is the formula to determine the specific resistance of the material of the wire. So this can be determined using meter bridge. Okay, it's a very important experiment and also very easy to do it. Okay, is it clear children? Yes. Now with this we are moving on to a problem which is there in your textbook children. Take page number 125 ma. Now 125, the current through an element is shown in the figure. Determine the total charge that pass through the element at t is equal to 0 second, t is equal to 2 second and t is equal to 5 seconds. So there is a graph given, right? Okay, now let us start doing it. Now we know the formula for current as I equal to dq by dt, because why I have taken dq by dt, here various points are given. So instantaneous current we are talking about. So let us talk for different positions. The value of t is different. They have given three value of time. So t is equal to 0 second, t is equal to 2 second, t is equal to 5 second. That is taken along the x-axis, and current is taken along the y-axis. What is that we should determine? We should determine the value of charge. So the formula can be rearranged as dq is equal to I into dt. So first case, at t is equal to 0 second, at t is equal to 0 second, where is t is equal to 0 second? At this point. At this point, I need to find out what is the value of current. Sorry, what is the value of charge? So at t is equal to 0, substitute. Charge will be dq is equal to, current is, I can take them at this point, I am talking about 10, but no use because t is 0. So what is the value of charge? Charge is going to be 0. Okay, next, at, what is the second case? At t is equal to 2 second, again dq is equal to, where is t is equal to 2 second? At this point. At this point, t is 2, right? T is 2 second. What is the value of current? The value of current is 5 ampere at t is equal to 2. Substitute then. So I is, dq is equal to I into dt. I is 5 ampere, dt is 2. So the charge is 10 coulomb. Okay, ma? So dq is 10 coulomb for the second question. Okay, next. Third case. What is the third case? At t is equal to 5 second. Again formula, dq is equal to I into dt. Where is t is equal to 5 second? Here. T is equal to 5 second. But what is the value of current here? Current is going to be 0 at this point. So in that case, what is charge? Charge will be equal to 0. So these are the three answers. Very simple sum. But here we talk about instantaneous current here. That is why I have taken dq by dt. Okay, ma? Then the next problem is, I'll just tell you the problem. You have to solve and get me the answer. Okay, ma? An electronics hobbyist is building a radio which requires 150 ohm in her circuit. But she has only 220 ohm, 79 ohm and 92 ohm resistors. So let us write the value of R1 to be 220 ohm, children. Then R2 is 79 ohm and R3 is 92 ohm. Okay, so these three resistors she is having. But what she wanted a resistor whose value is 150 ohm, which is not there. So she has to bring this, arrange these resistors in such a way, the answer should be, she should get a value of 150. She can bring it using these resistors. How these resistors should be connected so that she can have 150 ohm. Okay, that is the question. Look at the question. How can she connect the available resistors to get desired value of resistance? So what you have to do? You have to see. Now you know the formulas for resistors connected in series and parallel. Yes or no? For parallel connection, 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. For series, you have Rs equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. But when I add this, I will not get 150. But when I take the reciprocal of this also, I will not get 150. So what I have to do is, I have to connect in such a way that two resistors are in parallel and that combination is connected in series with the other one. So if I try that, I may get the answer. So let me draw the circuit diagram for that. Now these are the two resistors. Now how these resistors should be connected? This is how it should be connected. And you have the resistor R1 to be here, which is 220 ohm, and resistor R2 to be 79 ohm. So these two are connected in parallel. You find the effective resistance of this. Now that effective resistance is in series with another resistance R3 which is 92 ohm. So when I simplify this, I will get the answer. So when I simplify, I'll go for simplification. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay, simplify this. You will get the value of Rp. So 1 by R1 is 1 by 220 plus 1 by 79. So I have, let me write here, 1 by 220 plus 1 by 79, which is 1 by Rp, and find out the value of Rp from this. Now you have the value of Rp to be 58 ohm approximately here. When I multiply 220 into 79, the LCM is 17,380. This is the LCM. And when I simplify, I have here 220 plus 79 I have. Okay, so when I simplify this, I will have the value, the total value will be somewhat 299 children. So 220 here, when it goes, just simplify this and show me. Okay, so 220 plus 79, so it is 299 by 17,380. So Rp will be this reciprocal of this, right? So this is equal to, approximately equal to 58, and this is connected in series with 92. So what will be the effective resistance now? So Rs equal to Rp plus, what is the third value? R3. So it is 58 plus 92 will be 150 ohm, which is the required resistance. Okay ma, you understood this? Yes? Okay. Now take page number 305 in your textbook, children. 305. Have you taken? Now look at the experiment. The first experiment is determination of specific resistance of the material of the coil using meter bridge. Now go through the aim, apparatus, everything. Is it clear for you? Just check it. Now this is what I was discussing with you. Okay, this is, I said this is a practical experiment for you, and you have to look at the aim of the experiment. The aim of the experiment is to determine the specific resistance of the material of the given coil using meter bridge. Formula, look at the formula. Rho equal to, instead of P they have given X, because you are going to determine the value of the resistance of the unknown coil. So it is taken as X. Now what we discussed in our formula is, see here, look at the formula. P is equal to Q into L1 by L2, and here we discussed rho is equal to P into pi r square by L. Instead of P I have given X. Okay ma, X pi r square by L. Okay, so where X is the resistance of the given coil, R is the known resistance, L is the length of the coil, and small r is the radius of the. Now this radius of the wire is determined using screw gauge. Hope you remember, hope you know how to take the radius of a thin wire using screw gauge, which we have already read in 11th standard. So that you have to do. Procedure is the same. A resistance box is connected in the left gap, and unknown resistance in the right gap, and you have a Leclanché cell, a sensitive galvanometer, and a high resistance. Now fix a suitable resistance. The circuit is switched on. Okay, so after that you take the circuit connection. Check the circuit connection. To check the circuit connection, the jockey is pressed near one end of the wire. The galvanometer will show deflection in one direction. When you start moving the jockey from the end A, immediately the galvanometer show to the reading, show the deflection to the left side. Now you take the jockey to the end B, then you fix that jockey on end B of the wire. Again the galvanometer will move to the right side, which means your connections are correct. Okay, so with the known value of resistance, you take the balancing length x1, x2, that is given by the formula x1 equal to r into 100 minus L by L, x2 is equal to r into L by 100 minus L. So these are the two formulas where you use to find out the value of x1 and x2. take the average of it to find the value of the mean x, which I will be explaining you much more in detail when you come to the lab for doing this practical. Okay, why I wanted to relate this is because I started meter bridge. I wanted to relate you what is there in the practical session also. So please go through this. You spend some time today. In fact, this is your homework for today. Meter bridge you take and work out the circuit diagram and take this practical experiment also. Write the formula. Now you are going to determine here specific resistance whose unit is ohm meter. So write the formula, write everything once today. Okay, so keep on going through the concepts. We'll continue with potentiometer tomorrow, children.